Good day to you all, dear children. This is the last part of the Nightingale and the Rose lesson. Earlier two videos, you have seen that we have already discussed the Nightingale and the Rose story. And you can see those videos with this link, right? Today we have to deal with the themes, techniques, and let's have a look on one or two past paper questions. Okay, let's move on to the themes, dear children. Now, hope you all can remember the short story very well, right? There are several themes here. Love and sacrifice. දුවේ පුතේ theme එකක් මේකයි කියලා අඳුනගත්තාම අපි මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? You have to find out the quotations, right? Details regarding each and every theme. Okay? එහෙම නැතුව theme එක මේකයි කියලා කටපාඩම් කරගත්තට අමාරුයි. When you are given a critical question, you have to elaborate using evidences from the short story. Right? Love and sacrifice story is totally dealt with different types of love and also sacrifice. It tells us that love, pure love, romantic love needs sacrifice, right? Materialistic love versus romantic love. You know that professor's daughter, right? She has materialistic love, right? Where romantic love is with the Nightingale, right? And even we know that it is the young student does not have the romantic love, but the story deals with it. Reason versus passion. Reason කියන්නේ දරුවනේ මෙතන තියෙන intelligence කියන එක. Passion is the love. අර අපිට saying එකකුත් තියෙන love is blind කියලා. හරිද? ඒක මෙතන මොකක්ද කරනවා? Reason. Intelligence පාවිච්චි කරාද? Intelligence ගැන අපිට මොනවද කියන්න තියෙන? In a way, the young student is somewhat intelligent, we can see, rather than the students in the modern day society. Do you agree with me? Right? Yes. Then most of the time when the students fall in love, they tend to forget everything and everything in their lives. They lost their studies, they lost their parents and family members and everything, and at last when they got cheated, right, they tend to commit suicide even. So reason versus passion is also dealt as a theme in the story. Appearance versus reality. Why not? The young student has been deceived by the appearance of the professor's daughter, right? And the Nightingale also got deceived due to the crying and suffering appearance of the young student. She misunderstood the young student as a true lover. So appearance versus reality, that is a very common theme dealt throughout your anthology, right? Here also it is discussed in detail. System of education. Now the young student represents the education, but you see that he is really unpractical young guy and he is away from his aesthetic sense even, right? How unpractical he is, lying on the grass and suffering and crying, doing crying all the time, as he is unable to find a red rose in his garden. So he's really unpractical. But she claims the nightingale as an unpractical bird because he lacks with aesthetic sense, right? And at last also, so he's with only bookish knowledge, dear children. He's away from common sense and all, right? At last also, මොකද වුනේ? He turned a great dusty book and started to read. Right. So Oscar Wilde says that this education system does not provide the people with aesthetic sense and common sense and all. Right. Human hypocrisy and deceit is the last theme we discuss in the story, dear children. Hypocrisy, duality. Right. මේ එක හදවතක් එක වචනයක් නැතිකම. Like whom? The professor's daughter. Like the young student. Right. එක හදවතක් එක හිතක් තිබුණේ Nightingale විතරයි. Right. So if these themes would be blended with another aspect of the story, dear children. So use your intelligence and use your mind, your creativity well and have a nice answer. Okay? Right. Then let's move on to the literary devices. There are a number of literary devices used by the Wilde. Okay? Number one, personification. You know that the story is set in the Garden of Fantasy. So almost all the creatures, right, mentioned in the story are speaking. So they have given human traits. Okay? The green lizard speaks, the nightingale himself speaks, the rose tree is speaking, neda hamadema daisy mal pawa katha karanawa. They understand the human language also, especially the nightingale, oak tree, everyone. So personification is all over. Symbolism. So I have mentioned several symbols here, dear children. Nightingale symbolizes the truthfulness, dedication, devoted true love. Green lizard, as it is mentioned in your book also, is a cynical person. What do you mean by cynical, Pute? Cynical means a person who always finds faults, sees faults in everything. Oak tree suggests or symbolizes the wisdom or farsightedness. Oak tree එක තැනක කියනවානේ sing me your last song කියලා. Right? Sing me your last song, because he knows, the oak tree knows the destiny of the nightingale. Right? Red rose symbolizes true love for nightingale. රතු රෝස මල ආකාර කීපයකින් symbolize වෙන අපුතේ nightingale ට නම් රතු රෝස මල පිරිසිදු ආදරේ සංකේතයක්. But for the student, it's a passionate love. But for the girl, it's a conditional love. Right? Okay, let's move on to the third device, that is a simile. Similes are abundantly used in the story, dear children. I have taken only two here. She passed through the grove like a shadow, as white as the foam of the sea. Exaggeration, she will dance so lightly that her feet will not touch the floor. එයා නටාවි කොහොමද? එයාගේ පාද පොළවේ නොගැටි නටාවි. එහෙම නටන්න පුළුවන්ද? එහෙම නටන්න පුළුවන් රූකඩවලට නම් නේද? Puppetsලට? Why not? Irony. But has she got feeling? Now, it is said by the young student. Right? He's considering about the nightingale. එතකොට දරුවනේ feelings තියෙන්නේ young student ද? So in a way that's ironical, right? Or do any practical good? Is he practical enough? No. Wilde uses it as an irony. Comparison. You have seen number of comparative adjectives used in the story. You see that yellower than the daffodils that blooms in the meadow before the mower comes with his kite. So you can have several quotations. Several quotations. Okay, let's move on to the number 7. Alliteration. What's it? Alliteration, my dears? Repetition of the consonant sounds. Music by moonlight. Why, what a wonderful piece of luck. Flashback. She said that she would dance with me if I brought her a red rose. The story begins with this flashback. Flash forward. අර drama මොනවාද ballroom dance එකේදී she will dance මාත් එක්ක මෙහෙම නටයි. I shall hold her in my arms and she will lean her head upon my shoulder. So අර අනාගතයේ සිද්ධ වෙයි කියලා හිතෙන දෙයක් මවා ගන්න එක තමයි flash forward. He has gone into the future in his mind. Number 10, rhetorical questions. But has she got feelings? Assonance, you know, repetition of the vowel sounds. No red rose in all my garden. Oh sound. Ara andana crying. Oh, ayo, kiyana wage sound ekak metan enne. Right. Repetition. Number of repetitions are there in the story. Press closer, little nightingale. Look, cried the tree. Inversion. What do you mean by පුතේ? Inversion කියලා කියන්නේ changing the word order. අපිට English language එක ඇතුලේ sentence එකක් ලියන order එකක් තියෙනවා. But for the writers and poets, they can change that order other than us. Okay? Here at last is a true lover. එහෙනම් ඒක කොහොමද හැදෙන්න ඕනේ? Here is a true lover at last. Right? Night after night have I sung of him. I have sung of him night after night. So the writer has changed the word order in order to highlight the meaning. That is called inversion, right? Number 14, use of adjectives. You can see, right? A number of adjectives are used. Visual imagery. හැමතැනම නම් visual imagery තියෙනවා පුතේ. Don't use visual imagery as a very prominent device, right? As red as the feet of dove. I have showed you number of pictures regarding this kind of visual imagery in the part 1. You can watch them using that video, right? Number 16, onomatopoeia. Fluttering, bubbling, trembled, pierced. So those are the onomatopoeic words. Soliloquy. පුතේ soliloquy කියලා කියන්නේ තනියම කියවන ඒවට. She said that she would dance with me if I brought her a red rose. No red rose in all my garden. So those things. Auditory image. So the nightingale sang. මේ ගායනා කියන ඒවා auditory images තමයි පුතේ. Echo a boy to her purple cavern. මේ දෝංකාර. Right. Touch imagery, tactile imagery. I shall hold her in my arms. Olfactory imagery, smell. Sweet is the scent of the nightingale. පුතේ තමන්ගේ ජීවිතයේ ආසම දේවල් ගැන මතක් කරනකොට කියනවා. Sweet is the scent of the hawthorn and sweet are the bluebells that hide in the valley. Okay. So, unlike any other poem or a short story, here Oscar Wilde has used a number of poetic devices. Here also we have almost 20. Okay, are you ready for a past paper questions? Let's have a look on an extraction first, okay? 2016. The Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some jewels, and everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers. From which text is this extract taken? Who wrote it? Pute, be careful and be alert on the spellings plus capitalization. Here, the T capital, Nightingale N capital, Rose R capital. The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Wilde, there should be E at the end. Right. Who speaks these words? The professor's daughter. අනේ පුතේ girlfriends ලා, boyfriends ලා. හරිද? ඒ අය නැහැ. Right? Young students crush. එහෙමත් අපේ දරුවෝ ලියනවා answers වල. No. You have to go by the characters' names. The professor's daughter, the young student, the nightingale. Those are the 3 characters we have in the story. උගලන්ට ඕන නම් දෙන්න බෑ. To whom are they spoken? කාටද මේක කියන්නේ? To the young student, of course. What is the attitude to love as reflected in these lines? Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some real jewels. Attitude to love. Actually, it's the conditional law that materialistic love, which is based on material wealth and money, is reflected here. Right? Is it difficult? No, I don't think. Right, shall we analyze one critical question, Pute? Okay. 2020. Emotions related to love are often misinterpreted. Discuss with reference to the Nightingale and the Rose. What's it? Emotions related to love are often misinterpreted. What do you mean by Pute? I have given you the meaning here. Misinterpret කරනවා කියන්නේ misunderstand කරනවා, misconceive, වැරදියට වටහා ගන්නවා. නිකමට හිතලා බලන්න. Young student, professor ගේ daughter මලක් ගේන්න කියනකොට he also perceived that she will give me true love. She will be a true lover for me. එතකොට ඒ නිසා තමන්ගේ හිතේ ඇති වෙච්ච ආදරේ true love කියලා එයත් වැරදිට අවබෝධ කරගත්තා. By looking at and hearing the words, painful words, and by looking at the sufferings of the young student, Nightingale perceived him as a true lover. That is also incorrect. Right? Young lady, කවුද? The professor's daughter තේමයි පුතේ. She also misunderstood love as only to a mere material gain. එයා හිතන්නේ ආදරය කියලා කියන්නේ තමන්ට දේවල්, වස්තුන්, මිල මුදල් ලබා ගැනීම තමයි love කියලා කියන්නේ. So almost all the three characters have misunderstood what pure love is. So I have given here some points plus quotations, Pute. The Nightingale represents true love, misinterprets the young students' superficial infatuation as true love. Right? The bird. අපි ඉස්සලා plan කරගමු පුතේ. අපි ඉස්සලා Nightingale ගැන කතා කරමු, bird ගැන කතා කරමු in the first body paragraph, and then you can deal with the young student and then the professor's daughter. So that's how you have to go in accordance, in organization, okay? And then in the second para, the young student misinterprets the love of the professor's daughter. He fails to understand the cunning, conditional love of professor's daughter. She said that she would dance with me if I brought her a red rose. So you see, he also misunderstood when the professor's daughter said, if you bring me a red rose, I will dance with you. He misunderstood that phrase. He could have thought that during this winter season, she already knows that there will not be any kind of red rose, right? So then why she claims so? He could have thought, because he's an intelligent, so-called, okay? Intelligent within inverted commas. So he also misunderstood love, right? So in the last paragraph, in the last body paragraph, you can argue with the professor's daughter. Also misinterprets the love as she takes the conditional love to be granted. She considered materialistic values and materialistic love is the best love. She values materials with a misconception regarding. එයා love කියලා අඳුනගෙන ඉන්නේ ඒක පුතේ. පැහැදිලිද? Right. So there I have given several quotations, but you can have your own, you can find your own quotations other than these. මට වැඩි ඔයගොල්ලන් creative නේ දරුවනේ. Use your creativity there and have a good answer, organize it well, have a very good and powerful introduction, make the question in brief within your introduction, and now you have lengthy 3 paragraphs for all the 3 characters, and then make a strong conclusion at the end. So then you will find a very good mark. Right, okay. I hope that you all have understood, right, what I discussed within 3 videos, the Nightingale and the Rose, right? And hope you have enjoyed it, and let's meet from another video. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and please send me a comment. Okay? God bless you, dear children, and have a good day.